Hey, yo, what's tea? What's the word? What's really going on with your spirit today? Welcome back to Court Talk So Walk. I'm your host, your girl Juju, and we are back for another episode. So, look, I had to come through and keep it a buck with y'all today because honestly, I woke up feeling a little heavy, a little tight, a little bit out of alignment. And I know I'm not the only one. So, real quick, I know we always talk about the grind, but we don't talk about the rust. We don't talk about that ugly, stiff as a board feeling get when you're trying to start over, or when you've been sidelined by life for so long that you forgot how it feels to actually win. So today we are diving deep into that transition. We are going from stiff to steady. We're checking in on that first play, baby. Okay, that first step into the unknown that makes your stomach turn type of feeling. We getting raw, we getting passionate, we getting our mind right. Let's get it. So before we get into the soul of things, we got to give flowers where they're due. So I want to give a massive shout out to the teams that stood on business this past playoff weekend, which was the New England Patriots, the LA Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Denver Broncos. Real quick, we do have to talk about the Denver Broncos. They did make it. They did make it through. But if you ask me, it did come at a price. Quarterback Bo Nix going down was a tectonic shift for the Denver Broncos. And, right now losing your quarterback right now when the stakes are the highest, to me, that is a stiff situation. So right now, all eyes are on Jarrett Stidham, who is the starter for the Denver Broncos. So hopefully he can keep the rhythm steady as their new starter with the backup quarterback as Sam Ellinger and Ben DiNucci coming off the squad for insurance. So right now, Denver is definitely in survival mode. Their talent is there, but the question is, can the chemistry hold up under this kind of pressure? So best of luck to all teams that made it through. Relations to all of them that are moving on. But right now, the road to the ring, to the Super Bowl, just got a whole lot tighter. So let's get into it. So let's be real for a second. Starting something new is uncomfortable as hell. We all know that. It's that mental out of shape feeling where you know what you're capable of, but your current reality is giving notice. So you might be trying to heal from a heartbreak, starting that business you've been talking about for the past 3 years, or just trying to show up as a better version of yourself. But it seems like every move you make feels forced. It's like your soul is like this luxury car that's been sitting in the garage for God knows how long, and you turn the key and it makes that nasty, grinding sound. That right there is stiffness. It's the doubt that creeps in when the rhythm doesn't come easy. But I'm here to tell you that the stiffness isn't a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you're finally moving again. So you have to be okay with the creaks and the cracks. You have to be okay with looking a little crazy on the first play so you can become the legend that God has promised you will be. So if you aren't willing to be out of shape in public, shit, you'll never be elite in private. And that's a word. So let me be real and raw with you real quick, even more. So, vulnerable real. So, I can't tell you to go from stiff to steady if I don't show my own rust. So, real quick, for the last 4 years, I've been in this absolute roller coaster of motherhood, raising two beautiful young kings, my hearts, ages 4, my son Roman, and age 3, my son Romir, who are both on the autism spectrum. And let me tell you, that journey, baby, it will change you. So I realized I spent years putting myself last, and I'm not bitching, about it because That's what comes with the role. So, but the mental and physical drain is real. I've reached a point where I didn't even recognize, the woman in the mirror. And to be honest, I felt ugly and uncomfortable in my own skin. And honestly, I was terrified that people would see exactly what I saw, which was a woman who was out of shape in her own life. And to me, to be honest, I'm a person with many ideas, many visions. And this podcast was an idea and a vision that was supposed to be this whole somatic experience, the scripts, the aesthetics, the video. And I knew I was this big dog behind the scenes when it came to the work. But up front, listen, I was scared, like scared as fuck. So I remember sitting down to film my first episode and I was looking at my phone like, ugh, who is this? And I didn't like how Big Mama was looking on camera. Like I was not liking how my body looked. And like so serious. And to be honest, it absolutely crushed my spirit. I stopped thinking about the gems that I wanted to share, and I got blinded by my own insecurities. I let months, when I say months pass because I was too stiff to move. But then, when I finished my semester at school, for some reason that adrenaline hit different. I had realized the comfortable version of me was actually doing more work than the better version of me. And I gave myself a deadline of January 6th. And at around this time, it was Christmas time, and I had 0 episodes recorded. And I decided right then and there I was going to record and edit everything. When I say everything, everything by myself. The voices, when I say the voices in my head, it was like, Juju, it's too fucking soon. You only have 2 weeks. But I took that leap of faith anyway. I was stiff, I ain't gonna hold you, and nervous, but when I finished, let me tell you that feeling, baby girl, I felt fucking good, like amazing. I have realized at that moment I didn't have to be perfect. I just had to show the fuck up. And that first play for me was messy, but it proved that I was still in the game. And currently right now, I use that growth as my fuel to not let my insecurities sideline me because the version of you that's waiting on the other side of that stiffness is undeniable. You just got to be ready to show out. Like reflecting on my my journey and what I went through is, once I like pushed through that initial what the hell am I doing like phase, I started to like really feel the shift. Okay. And that's the move right there from stiff to steady. Like keep in mind, steady isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Consistency is key. Consistency shows that you are reliable, that you can show up and still do. It doesn't matter if you finish, but the fact that you can show up and still put your best foot forward, that is consistency. Okay. That you're one right behind the next. Like it's like repetitively. That's what that means. So it's like, that moment where the noise in your head starts to quiet down and like you're starting to get the rhythm of your heart. Like the rhythm of your heart starts to take over and you stop looking at everybody else and you start to focus on your own shit that you got, to be honest. Finding your steady, listen to me, finding your steady is a whole ass vibe. And I'm learning and I'm not ashamed about it. It's a whole ass vibe. Okay. This shit is a fucking frequency. It's how can I express it? Like, how can I say this to you? Like, it's like when you finally stop being tolerated by your own insecurities and you start being celebrated by your own growth. That's powerful to me, honestly. Like, I feel like you move with like a different physique because like you realize that that first play was just a test to see if you just stay in the game. And that's what a lot of us fail at. Once something like, it's uncomfortable and we fail, we out of sight, out of mind. But no, stay in the game. Because when you hit that steady flow, trust and believe me, nobody can shake you because listen, you've already survived the stiffness, you've already put the work in, you've put the pain in, you felt the pain. Shit, the only thing you're doing right now is walking in your truth. It's time for the score segment. Oh, real quick, I want to grade myself on my first play. Um, real quick. And I'm going to give myself a 10 out of 10 on the stiffness because I let a lot of insecurities keep me bench for a very long time. I know I was frozen by fear of how I looked instead of how I felt. But my steady recovery, I will give it a 20 out of 10. I ain't even gonna catch you guys. Jumping into a 2 week deadline and teaching myself how to edit and release it on January 6th. That right there is called, to me, standing on fucking business. It's like, and an A plus for grit. Because shit, if you know what it's like to go to school, be a mom, okay, stay at home mom at that, and then have, kids on the spectrum, it is a lot. Okay. So I'm really, really, really proud of myself. So clap, clap to me. But a real quick input to get to you guys. I just want you guys know, like, it's something that called like new season jitters. So this is like for people or for anybody, out there who actually had the heart to show up today, wherever you're at, wherever you're listening at, whatever you're doing right now. If you had the heart to show up today for something new, then that is, a win in my book. Okay. Because you might feel like you're fumbling the ball right now, but the fact that you're even on the field is an A plus. So E for effort. And real quick, I want to talk about my people who grow in silence. I love y'all, by the way. Like the people who are working in silence, who feeling like a little rusty, but like they're not refusing to quit. I believe your soul score is off the fucking charts because you're choosing to be steady in a world that wants you to be fast. So to me, it's like you're moving from that stiff, anxious energy into a place of like deep rooted peace. And I feel like that transition is critical. You know, to me, it's the definition of standing on business. Okay. And I feel like overall, we are rating grit today, not giftedness. If you're still standing after a rough first play, to me, you're already an MVP in this walk. All right. So, whew, I feel like this episode, it made my soul happy. To me, it just did. I hope it made you guys happy today. I hope you guys got a word. I hope that you take everything that I'm saying into consideration, open minded. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a licensed psychologist, doctor, anything like that. This is just soul like talk right here. Hoping to like connect just with people all over because everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. So if you guys, have been feeling out of shape mentally today, listen, do not beat yourself up, okay? You aren't failing. You're just warming up. The rhythm is coming, but you have to stay in the game to find it, okay? I'm your host, Juju, and this is Cork Talk Soul Walk. Keep your soul in alignment, your head in the game, and your heart in the walk. We're going from stiff to steady. And I'll see you guys on the next play.